So Michelle, what are your thoughts on AI in publishing?
Well, there's a lot of buzz about AI at the moment in publishing, and in some ways I'm a little bit wary about it because I think a lot of people misuse the term AI. Sometimes when people talk about AI in publishing, what they're really talking about is automation. Okay, so there's that part which is already there and yes, is getting better. I think the part of AI that's really interesting in publishing is machine learning, and that's where we can use tools that learn from data that we give them to replicate what humans do and learn from what has been done before. Personally, I don't think that AI there won't ever be a tool that takes the place of a copy editor completely.
Where do you see AI having a really strong and growing role, and where do you see potential limitations then?
Being able to assess a manuscript and say, okay, this is the standard of English that's used, these are the type of errors that are there, this is the level of errors that are there, and this is what we think needs to be done with this manuscript. There's huge potential there. I think there's this idea that in academic publishing everything's extremely dry and there's a very standard way of writing. To an extent there's some standardisation, but there's still an awful lot of an authorial voice in academic writing, especially humanities and social sciences. No one wants to see that lost. And that's something that I just can't see a machine working with.
It seems to me what you're referring to, though, when you look at academic publishing and other publishing, is in relation to creativity. When you get into the creative space, whereby the way an author presents something is actually the value of the manuscript. Particularly when you get into the higher level social sciences, where the language becomes everything. But
I also think that it's a little bit dangerous, because if you want to trust a machine to do your copy editing, as we've all learnt from human copy editors, if a mistake is made, it can have really serious consequences. So I think we need to be careful. I think there's huge potential there, but I think we need to tread carefully.
That brings us to the next level. I mean, there's a lot of discussion now about the capacity of AI engines to actually write content. Can you really imagine someday buying a book that's been written by a machine?
No.
If it was a book that was, if it was a book that was basically an interpretation of existing data,
Okay.
or a book that was paraphrasing other source material, or a combination of those two things, yes. But if it was a book that had original ideas in it and creativity, yeah.
But then, in that respect, in some ways, there are possibilities, like for manuals, for content, that there's a huge area where that, because the accuracy could be higher, there's a great possibility for AI to be involved in terms of in developing content, writing content.
Yeah, there's less room for error, I guess.
There's less room for error, particularly where that matters. But we're working on content now in the legislative space and the accounting space, and because AI and the machine could work that out very accurately and ensure no room for error, that certainly could help in terms of creating those manual content for students and so on. But I suppose what we're coming back to then really is, once you hit on to the area of a creative space, that's where we hope and pray that the humans will be left to their own devices.
We can only hope.